What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Trash Film Home Videos. So today we're going to do a review for Arrow Video's Switchblade Sisters. But first I wanted to do a little housekeeping. So the other day my unboxing showed you that I got the Donnie Darko 4K. Put it in, watched about 20 or so minutes, and so far so good. I didn't notice any problems yet. Again, I only watched about 20 minutes of it, so I don't know if possibly maybe a little further into the movie some things happen. So we'll see when I watch it. I haven't heard any news on replacement discs or anything at this time, so yeah. But my copy, so far so good, and I have a Panasonic player, and I heard those are ones that were really having problems with it, so I don't know. Also, Homegrown Horrors showed up. I just love these box sets. I just wanted to show it. I love these. The amount of care that went into these movies. I haven't watched them, so I don't know about transfers or anything, but like the amount of features that are on these for these like little no budget, low budget, micro budget movies is crazy. So but I just love these box sets. They're just really nice. But anyway, it showed up, so excited to dig into that. So let's talk about Switchblade Sisters. I love this movie. Now, I had seen it before, obviously, Arrow Video. The other cover is that artwork, which I like this artwork, but this is just, that's some classic exploitation art right there. And I had this movie on DVD when Tarantino did that, like his little, I don't remember what it was called, Rolling Thunder, I think it was called, pictures. He released that and a few other things, but I don't know how much he actually released. But this is one of them, and this is one that I picked up, blind bought it, absolutely loved it. It's directed by the legendary Jack Hill, Spider Baby, Foxy Brown, Coffee, countless other exploitation films. This is a very, very fun flick. I'm going to just read the back here. I'm not going to go through. Lace, the leader of, why did I not get my glasses? You know what? And this is how I do it here. I don't edit. Eventually I'll get some better equipment and do some editing, but I just do it old school. And that could be the reason I don't have very many subscribers, but it's just how I do it. I'm gonna review the movies I want to review, and I'm gonna do my videos the way I want to do them, and whoever likes to watch them will watch them. So I'm gonna go grab my okay. Now I'll be able to see. Lace, the leader of the inner city girl gang, the Dagger Debs, meets her match when new girl Maggie moves into the neighborhood. Mistrust and conflict turn to friendship as the girls end up in juvenile detention together at the mercy of abusive guards. Okay. The amount of time they spend in that, I'm just going to say this, the amount of time they spend in jail is like 3 minutes. So why this is in the synopsis, I don't know. Meanwhile, the Dagger Deb's male counterparts, the Silver Daggers, have to contend with the arrival of a new gang led by the villainous Crabs. But when the girls get back on the streets, a planned retaliation strike in tandem with the Silver Daggers backfires and puts Lace in the hospital. Maggie assumes control, teaming up with Muff and her gang of African-American militants from across town to declare all-out war, but there's a traitor in their midst. Filled with sharp, clever dialogue, tongue-in-cheek humor, this Shakespeare-influenced girl gang, women in prison action movie medley is a stone-cold grindhouse classic. Yeah, there's a small piece of the movie that they're in prison. Like, it's literally, it's not even, I don't even know if it's full 5 minutes. So to put that in there as part of being in the genre, it's a little wacky. But, and yes, Jack Hill said it was loosely based on Othello. And in one of the features on here, he says that, and Joanne Nail, who plays Maggie, is like, what, it was? And he's like, yeah, you know, the jealousy, and then and he's like, I said it was loosely based. She's like, yeah, really loosely, because she did Shakespeare in New York before she started her film career. I love this movie. It is over the top in its acting, not necessarily in its, because this is an exploitation movie. It's not over the top in its exploitative elements. It's actually pretty tame. There is not a lot of nudity. They actually talked about that. They were trying to get a PG rating, but Jack said that what he didn't realize was that anything with narcotics in it instantly got an R. So there's little to no nudity in it, and he said actually that's part of why the film didn't do very well, is because people went to exploitation movies to see just that. And you know, it's an R-rated movie with no nudity really. There's one scene that's real quick where we get a flash and a girl like lifts her skirt up. That's it. Another small scene where Lace and Dom are in bed together and she's topless, but it's very darkly lit and you can kind of see something but not really. And it's definitely not your typical like Roger Corman-esque kind of like exploitation movie where there's just nudity all over the place. It's just not in here. And yes, there's violence, but there's no like insane amounts of violence. And it's definitely not graphic in any way. It's actually a pretty tame movie. Where the entertainment value comes in is the dialogue, is really the performances. What was her name? Robbie Lee, who plays Lace, absolutely, in my opinion, steals the show. She does this thing where she talks through her teeth all the time. And actually, there's a scene when she's in the hospital where she really shows her acting chops. You know, basically in the scene, she kind of has a little temper tantrum. Mind you, these people are supposed to be in high school. These are supposed to be teenagers in high school, and they're in these gangs. The whole sort of premise of this movie is that this is like in a society where society is crumbling. You know, gangs are taking over, and you know, in the movie, the gangs run kind of everything. There's a scene where the leader of the Silver Daggers, Dom, who's with Lace, who's the leader of the Dagger Debs, the principal actually comes to him for help and for questions about the guy Krabs, who's going to be coming to that school. You know, the gangs run kind of everything. So it's in this sort of world where, you know, society is falling apart. So it's not in reality. And everything is sort of overacted to that point. But in this scene, like, you really feel for her, and she kind of throws this tantrum, and it's you know, the subject matter behind the scene is pretty serious. And you can really see her emotions in it. She's a really good actress. I thought she did a really good job. She steals the show, in my opinion, in this whole film. And that is really where this movie's like base entertainment value for me comes from. It comes from the performances, and it comes from the outrageousness of the story and the acting. And when I say that it's overacted, it's not overacted in the sense like that it's too much. It's just a very boisterous story, and so it's played that way, which works really well. It kind of feels like a pulp comic book come to life. Even some of the transitions, kind of these fast, like like whoop, new scene, you know what I'm saying? And then we get like every once in a while a Batman-esque with a pop, like I can't explain what I'm talking about, like the shape of that will come up, and I can't explain it, but when you see it, you know what I mean. So it's very like comic book-esque in a way. Yeah, I just love the movie. I think it's a hell of a lot of fun. I loved it back then, and rewatching it, the wildest girl gang that ever blasted the streets. And I loved it again. Even though it is, like I said, it is pretty tame. But we do get fun stuff. There's some shootouts. There's a shootout in a roller rink, which I don't know that would be in a movie today. We get a knife fight. Yeah. Also, there's a character that wears an eye patch. And it's not like just because her character's name is Patch. I know that Tarantino says that he, his influence for the character in Kill Bill was from Thriller: A Cruel Picture, Christina Lindbergh's film. So I'm wondering, this was 1975, wondering if that was the influence, or if he just thought it looked cool. Because it does look cool. She's got, it's like a silver, it looks like a metal patch, and got a little butterfly on it. So the Blu-ray itself, and this is something that, the picture quality looks fine. It's nothing that I don't think it's going to blow anyone away. It is a low-budget exploitation picture from 1975, so it can only look so good. But this is something that bothers me when I don't know where the film came from, because first thing we get is high definition 1080p Blu-ray presentation. What was the transfer? Was it a 2K scan? Was it a 4K scan? Was it from the original 35mm negative? Was it from the inner positive? I don't know. I feel like when we get that description, it's a port from another release. So I'm guessing they made probably the transfer from that German Blu-ray that came out, or possibly the DVD, because it's really not, colors are nice, it's, you can see film grain, it's cleaned up, it's not like it's awful. It's definitely a cleaned up presentation. But it's nothing that's gonna blow you away. Let's see, what else do we have here? We got some pretty good, I didn't listen to the commentary. It's a commentary with Sam Deegan and Kat Ellinger again. Them locked up somewhere. I feel like that's all they do. They're on every disc. Just for, well, I don't think they do Vinegar's. Do they do? Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Bet you they're not on any of these. I'm just doing this for reference. No. No. Probably not, like I said. I highly doubt they're on any of these, but no. Let's see if they're on this Donnie Darko. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We all know they do a lot of commentary tracks. But I'm sure it's a very interesting commentary track. We Are the Jezebels. an archival documentary featuring Jack Hill, producer John Prizer, director, casting director Gino Havens, production designer B.B. Neal, stunt coordinator Bob Miner, and stars Joanne Nail, Asher Bronner, who plays, Joanne Nail plays Maggie, Asher Bronner plays Dom, and Chase Newhart. Nice little making of. I don't know where this, it's an archival one, but it was done by Elijah Drenner, so it was probably for that, German Blu-ray that was out. Gangland, the locations of Switchblade Sisters archival documentary. Jack Hill and Elijah Drenner revisit the shooting locations, which I was a little nervous because a lot of this was filmed on a soundstage, but there were 3 locations that, there's a burger joint, there's a little crosswalk, and then there's the roller rink. The roller rink's still there, looks exactly the same. The burger joint's still there, looks pretty much the same. But that's a cool little feature. Then there's Jack Hill and Joanne Nail at the Grindhouse Film Festival in 2007, and they do a little Q&A. And there's a really old archival one, interview with Jack Hill, Robbie Lee, Joanne Nail, 1990s. Oh, that's who that was. I knew I recognized that guy. In conversation with Johnny Legend. Johnny Legend put out some, there used to be some Johnny Legend DVDs back in the day. And then we got a theatrical trailer and a reversible sleeve. Features are really good. So guys, if you're into this kind of movie, these like kind of off the wall, you know, exploitation pictures from the 70s, this one is a heck of a lot of fun. There is definitely, it is super entertaining. There's no like lull in action. What it lacks in sort of like sleaze and gore and violence, it much more makes up for in, you know, character and fun. It's just a fun movie. So if you're into kind of stuff like this kind of movie, I definitely would pick this up. One of my favorites. It's been one of my favorites for a long time, and it still is. I mean, look at that cover art. Who wouldn't want to watch something like that? Come on. All right. Anyway, I'm trying to shorten these reviews up. I don't know if it's going to work. Obviously, doesn't seem like it. So, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.